Hello and welcome. In the world of data engineering, everybody seems to want their data real time. But what's the actual cost of that speed? Today, we're going to break down three of the biggest names in the game, Apache Kafka, Flink, and Spark, to help you figure out which tool is the right one for the job without, breaking the bank. Let's dive in. So let's kick things off with this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. That desire for real-time data, it's everywhere. But actually building the systems to support it can just blow up your costs, your complexity, and your team's stress levels. So the real question isn't, can we do it? It's should we? And, that really brings us to what some people call the real-time data myth. It's this default assumption that faster is always better, no matter what. But before we even start talking about the tech, we've got to start with the actual business need. Honestly, this is the single most important question you can possibly ask. Most of the time, when someone from the business side says, we need this in real time, what they often mean is they just need the data refreshed, say, every hour, or maybe every 10 or 15 minutes. True, sub-second speed is actually a pretty rare requirement. The answer to that question, how fresh does it need to be, points us to the two fundamental ways of processing data, batch and streaming. And trust me, understanding the difference between these two is absolutely the key to making a smart choice. First up, we've got batch processing. This is the old-school, classic approach. Think of it like a scheduled job. A process kicks off, maybe at midnight, it grabs a massive chunk of data from the entire day, chews through all of it at once, and then it just shuts down until it's time to run again tomorrow. And on the complete other end of the spectrum, you've got streaming. This is a totally different way of thinking. Instead of waiting to gather up a big pile of data, streaming systems process every single piece of data, every event, the very instant it shows up. It's a continuous, always-on kind of flow. And I love this analogy because it makes it so clear. Batch processing is like doing all your laundry on a Sunday. It's super efficient for that one big load, right? But during the week, your laundry basket just keeps getting fuller. Streaming, on the other hand, that's like washing a dish the second you're finished eating. You get that instant gratification, but it means you've got to be ready to wash a dish at any moment. So what this really shows us is that data freshness isn't a simple yes or no question. It's a whole spectrum. For something like financial reporting, getting the data once a day is totally fine. But for fraud detection, you need that data in less than a second. In that situation, stale data could literally mean thousands of dollars lost. That's why figuring out your use case is always step one. All right, so now that we've got a handle on batch versus streaming, let's actually meet the players. We're going to see exactly where Apache Spark, Apache Flink, and Apache Kafka fit into this whole picture. First up, we've got Apache Spark. If you have to think of Spark in one way, think of it as the powerful, all-purpose workhorse of the data world. I mean, it is the undisputed king of large-scale batch processing. And when it comes to streaming, Spark does something really clever called micro-batching. Basically processing data in tiny, super frequent batches. Okay, so if Spark is the workhorse, then Apache Flink is the high-performance specialist. It was built from the ground up for one job and one job only, true event-by-event stream processing. Its entire design is obsessed with delivering the lowest latency possible. And finally, let's talk about Kafka's role. Now, this is super important. While Spark and Flink are processors, Kafka itself is more like the central nervous system for all your data. And a key piece of that is Kafka Connect, which is best thought of as a super reliable courier. Its job isn't to process the data, it's just to get it into and out of Kafka from basically any system you can imagine. So just to lock it in, let's do a quick recap. Spark is your go-to for big, heavy batch jobs. Flink is your specialist when you need true low-latency streaming. And Kafka Connect is your expert courier for just moving data around. Simple as that. Okay, so we know who's who, but how do you actually choose? Well, that's where the trade-offs come in. You've got to balance these critical factors, things like performance, cost, and just how complex these systems are to manage. First, let's talk about the need for speed, because everyone wants things to be fast, right? When we talk about performance in this world, we're almost always talking about latency, which is just the delay between something happening in the real world and your system actually processing it. So here's where the rubber meets the road. Flink, with that true streaming design, processes events one by one, and it can easily get you sub-second latency. Spark, with its micro-batching model, is processing tiny little batches, which usually lands at somewhere around 150 to 250 milliseconds. I mean, that's still incredibly fast, but it is a fundamentally different architecture. But, and this is a huge but, Like we said at the very beginning, that speed almost always comes at a cost. And it's not just about the money you pay your cloud provider for servers. This breakdown of the total cost of ownership, man, it is so revealing. Yeah, the infrastructure cost for streaming is higher because the systems have to run 24/7, but look at that column on the right, operational and engineering cost. That is the real hidden cost. Streaming systems are just way more complex to test, to manage, and to recover when they fail. And all of that requires more engineering time and more expertise, which is often the most expensive part of the whole equation. And speaking of cost, get this number from the source material. It's pretty staggering. A lot of production Spark jobs are wasting somewhere between 30 and 70% of their allocated compute power just due to things like idle resources. It just goes to show that even with the cheaper batch approach, you've got to be on top of your costs. All right, we've covered the concepts, the players, and all the trade-offs, so let's bring it all home. How do you actually make the right call for your project? This gives us a fantastic starting point for some common scenarios. As you can pretty much see, for any big batch job, Spark is the clear winner. But when you need to capture data changes the moment they happen, something called CDC, that's where tools like Flink and Kafka Connect really shine. The main takeaway here is that the right tool really just depends on if you're moving your data in big chunks or as a continuous flow. And this right here, this is basically your cheat sheet. It boils everything we've talked about down to 4 essential questions for you and your team. What's your real latency requirement? What's the actual business cost if your data is stale? What's your operational budget, including your engineer's time? And what's your team's expertise? The rule of thumb is really simple. If the cost of a 15-minute delay is pretty low, just start with batch or microbatch. You should only take on the cost and complexity of true streaming when the business case is screaming for it. And we'll end with this thought. While it's so important to avoid over-engineering for real time today, it's also true that the business cost of having stale data is only going up. The real key is to build a data strategy that's right for your needs right now, but is also flexible enough to evolve as those needs inevitably change. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.